Well, it's two, so it's live.
We'll both lean in a little bit. Yeah, it's. I found the music didn't work very well. Go 0?
Yeah.
Was that a yeah or a yeah? Trying to get myself on my wrestle line here. That's a good picture.
Rough heritage.
Sounds like great. Hey, RB community students, we're glad you are joining us. We see you, Jacob and Aaron. I assume you're Aiden, and yeah, Aiden. We're glad you guys are here. We've got a fun day planned. So my story is because I am a type 1 diabetic. Hey Ryan, I'm a type 1 diabetic. I got sent home last Tuesday, so I am coming up on 2. Yeah, say hi to Jazz. Jazz says Jazz wants to be involved in the live feed. Everybody, Jazz, say hi. Jazz, say hi. I'm gonna put Jazz away. But
Oh my goodness.
this is what working from home looks like.
This is live TV.
So I've been home. I am coming up. This is almost 2 complete weeks of work at home. So yeah, you guys can imagine I'm getting a little restless, and I want to hang out with people. I want to have Brent over. I want to be with you guys. But the reality of it is we are called to sit still.
Mm-hmm.
And our series that we're calling our Friday afternoons is Restless. And I'm sure you guys, just like me, are getting a little bit restless. You want to go out and you want to have fun. You want to do things that you can't always just do at home. You want to go out and have a good time with your friends. So we're trying our best at RB Community Church to give you opportunities to connect. So basically the really quick rundown of your opportunities that I want to give you is, first off, Sundays at 10 a.m., we're going to have all of our services live. So for those of you guys that got here in advance, you saw a slideshow that I got of people that are just hanging out. We'll see. Maybe jazz will attract Brent. I think that probably will make for great TV. So we're going to give you a quick rundown of what opportunities we have throughout the week. 10 a.m. on Sundays. If you guys are on Facebook and YouTube, we will have live programs for you guys to come and check out what's going on. So join us there. You'll see our whole services that we typically have. They'll be streamed live. We've got worship. There's a sermon from Pastor Brian. So that's 10 a.m. on Sundays. And then every day of the week, we have something for you. So for our students, we're doing, yeah, as you can see, Jazz's tail. For our students, we're going to have stuff every day at 2 p.m. I'm going to put Jazz away. Brent, you want to walk what everybody has going on at 2 p.m.?
All right. So what we have for you on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 o'clock, a little devotion goes up somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. So this past week, up on our YouTube page, so on the same page that this live stream should be on, or will be on once it's done recording live. We've got some devotions that go up. I put some up. Richard will put up. But we'll just do a little it's called 10 minutes with. I haven't reached 10 minutes yet, probably because the one I put up on Thursday, I recorded at sunrise. I was very tired, as you'll see in the video. But yeah, so check those out. And then we have our live chats, which the first one was on Wednesday, and a lot of you chimed in on. And we learned a lot about what you are all doing to get through this restless period at home.
So basically, we're going to have something for you every single day of the week. So Monday, Wednesday, we've got Zoom chats online. If you guys go to rbcommunity.church and you click on the events tab, there will be stuff listed for you all the time. So we'll have live chats where you guys can come in, just come into a chat room, ask questions, just hang out. Honestly, like it's very much so in this season important that we connect and just have conversation. It's really easy for us for those of us that like have a tendency to like seclude ourselves and not necessarily jump in and go into conversation. It's really easy for us to feel alone in this season. So, I mean, on Wednesday, we just talked about stuff like, hey, what are people eating for breakfast in this chaotic time? What are we doing? What's your favorite kind of cereal? Things like that. So just like hanging out and having a good time and just connecting with our friends when we can't be out in public. And then also, so Brent kind of clued you guys in. Then we'll be publishing devotionals on Tuesday and Thursday for you guys to connect with God's Word and just spend time gathering.
Bit of housekeeping on those meetings. They're on Zoom. Richard, do they need a Zoom account to access it?
So you don't need a Zoom account. You can click on the link that is on the website. So rbcommunity.church, there is a digital connection event underneath basically there's a student digital connection event. If you go to that page, you click on the link, it'll open up a thing, and automatically through the web page you can connect through that page. So you're good to go there.
You can do it on your computer. You can do it on your phone. Basically on our live chats, I've been on our phone, on my phone. So it works there. You just can't see everybody like you can on a desktop.
Yeah.
So it's the only difference. But those live chats will be Monday and Wednesday. devotionals Tuesday and Thursday. And on Fridays, you're right here live with us across the internet. Once again, all of these things we should want to mention. Feel free to invite friends like you would to MSM or Highway or Sunday mornings. These are open for everyone. We send invitations, but you can share those links and any of the information. So you can invite your friends to the live chats. They can watch the devotionals, and they can be included in this. So feel free to share the link with all of your friends because they're just like you sitting at home. And we're here for you and your friends. So feel free to share these with your friends.
Yeah, so hey, Russell, thanks for joining us. We're glad you're here. And Ryan, I saw you
I'm going to move this camera a little bit because I am very much leaning in.
Yeah, and I'm very much, plenty of me is in the picture. So like I said, Brent and I, neither of us are very sensitive. So if,
what do you mean, when you mean sensitive, you mean emotionally or
both?
Like if I do this.
Hey, keep your 6 feet. Keep your 6 feet. Social distancing. Social distancing. No, we mean we want this to be.
I think they're talking about Gilmore Girls while we're talking.
Yeah, Josie and Allie have been watching Gilmore Girls, and I know a lot of you guys have been binge watching various Netflix shows. But we want this to be the most enjoyable possible 45 minutes for you guys to come and hang out with us. We want to connect with you guys. So if you have any like, hey, you should try doing this, or hey, you should try doing this. Like we're constantly making improvements. I am by nature a systems perfecter. Like that's my style is like I do things repeatedly until I get them as good as they can be. So my goal is that through the next couple of weeks that we meet together and we hang out, that I will create a better and better system for us to come together and interact with as students and staff at RB Community Church. So we're glad you guys have come in. We're constantly getting more and more viewers. We've got 19 right now, so that's awesome. But one of the things that we want to do with you guys right now is we want this to be an interactive game opportunity. So we're going to do a game every week. I'm really excited. So the last couple of weeks, like I said, because we're constantly just trying to figure out what in the world we're doing, we've very much so just been trying to figure out what's next and get something done. So this week we've got a pre-made game that we're going to play with you guys. But next week, I'm really excited. We're actually going to play a game that involves including your parents. So I'm looking forward to that. So parents, if you're watching, I'm going to be interacting with you guys and getting pictures and video of you guys doing various things over the years to do surveys with kids. But for this week, we're doing one of those things that's very interesting. I think for all students and for all human beings, one of the very common questions we get asked as a church and as a community is like, what's my purpose? What am I doing here? So we're going to play a game called something along the lines of like, what in the world is this here for? What's the point? What is my purpose? What is this object's purpose? So we're going to show you guys some obscure items, and you're going to have to try to figure out what are they for. So guys, go ahead, answer your question in the comments on the right. We'd love to interact with you guys and let you figure out who knows what's best about what's going on. So here we go. First one. This is, why does this exist? So the question is, why does this exist? What is this thing's purpose? So here we go. First one. Brent, you want to go ahead and read those out?
All right. So this thing is called a Halligan bar. It's a forcible entry tool used by police and firefighters to bust into hard-to-access places. Is that what it is? Or this thing is called a Platt's sower. It's a gardening tool used primarily in arid climates to prepare tough soil for planting small crops. So once again, that thing there is a Halligan bar used by police and firefighters to bust into hard-to-access places. Or is it Platt's sower, a gardening tool used to prepare tough soil for planting?
So I see I've got a one from Jacob. I've got a Ryan Thomas and Aiden are saying 2. So we got a handful of answers. Josie's saying 2. I'm surprised it wasn't like a aggressive nose picker tool.
That would hurt.
Like, or I remember in elementary school them teaching us about the tool that was used to remove the brain from the pharaoh's head in the embalmment process. Maybe that's like that. That's what that tool reminds me of.
This is I don't know the answers. Richard, you might. I think it's. I'm gonna go with 2.
So we're gonna go.
I think it's a garden.
Brent's going with 2, and the answer is.
What is it? Oh.
So the answer is 1. So if you guessed 1, congratulations. We're talking about our prizes are for every answer people get correct. I will go and I will give them a like or a nod on any social media outlet that they would desire. So Jacob Poole, Declan, Russell, I'm going to go on your guys' Instagrams and I'm going to give you guys a like. If you don't have an Instagram, we'll go ahead and if there's somewhere else you'd like me to leave a mention. Okay, so I was trying to figure out one of the problems was like usually when we meet in person, like if somebody gets answers correct, you want another Reddit follower? Okay, I will go out and get you another Reddit follower, Jacob. So one of the things I was trying to figure out is like we can't really like, oh, congratulations, you got the question right. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a lollipop, right? We can't really do that with social distancing. We are somewhat secluded to this place. So whoever gets the most answers correct in this game, I was trying to think of things.
Yeah.
I thought this was a fantastic option. Whoever gets the most answers correct during this game, I will give you a personally made birthday song video to anybody of your choosing. So let's say you want a birthday message to somebody named Vanessa. I will sing happy birthday to Vanessa for you to give personally to that person digitally, and you'll go from there. So it might mean a lot to them, but it means nothing to me, but it might be something that's
I just want to know, in just like real life, your mom is ignoring our conversation and having her own conversation with the students.
How about Parks and Recreation? Yes, we have seen, Carolyn and I have watched all of Parks and Recreation twice. Hey, Cole, glad you can make it. So, Cole, if you didn't get in on the earlier conversation, whoever gets the most answers correct to this game we're playing, I am going to sing happy birthday to anybody they would like virtually. So, if you want me to sing happy birthday to your dad or your mom, I will include their name. Just let me know. So we're keeping track. We've got statistics, so we can tell who's answered the most questions. We're going to move on to question number 2. Question number 2. Here we go.
What is that thing? Is it, number 1, a common baby toy that was created to teach geometrical concepts to small children and for chewing on during teething? Okay. Or is it a cable manager that separates and organizes your electronic cables? Well, I have a baby. Would I let her chew on that thing? I might.
I was going to say, I definitely know our cat would lick it, that's for sure.
I'm going to go with a cable manager.
Cable
because
manager.
I can't teach my baby anything.
Is anybody willing to take a gamble and say 1? We got Jacob, Ryan, Cole, Aiden, Josie, Declan, Travis, all saying 2.
Yeah. Now's your chance to get ahead by saying 1.
So I'm getting a call from my mom, who is in this chat. So I'm going to take this because she no doubt has something to tell us that we're doing wrong.
Of course it is.
Hey, what's up?
Live.
We're on our live chat.
Yeah. Does she not know? Who's chatting in her name then?
Somebody is Dad there. Because somebody is chatting as Marty Klusmeyer.
Yeah, that's not Marty Klusmeyer you're talking to.
Okay, so you probably need to log out and then log in or something.
Live TV ain't nothing like it.
Love you. Bye.
So who is that?
So that was my mom calling, and somebody has been chatting in this chat is my mom. So if you're a hacker and you're using my mom's account, you got to find something better to do with your time. But
we enjoy their television conversation.
Yeah. So I think it was she was having trouble with video. She wasn't seeing our video.
Well, Richard, everybody's dying to know. Everybody's guessed 2. And it is 2.
The answer is 2.
All
you guys are
right.
pretty well. Did anybody take the risk of 1?
No
risk takers. Okay, here we go. Number 2.
That thing. Oh boy. This is known as an automobile blood pressure reader that checks for pressure and spacing in your car's shocks. Or is this thing called the inflatable shim, and it holds a door or window in place while you work on a project? So, is it for my car? It checks for pressure and spacing in the shocks? Or is it an inflatable door jam? Logic says 2. Why would I ever need number 1?
So they are somewhat similar. I've seen number 2 in use. There are also now massive versions of those that you can use instead of a car jack to lift your entire car up.
I'm going to go with 1 because 2 just seems too logical.
So
I don't know why I would need it for 1.
I've seen it in action, so I'm going to go with it's number 2.
It is 2.
It is 2. So the reality of it, so typically for those of you guys out there that don't know what it's for, the most frequent use of this item is if you lock your keys in the car. They use that thing, which when deflated is flat like a sheet of paper. You slide it into your car door through that really fine thing, and then you inflate it up, and air pressure expands it. So then you're able to get an item to hit the unlock button on your car. So that's basically what it's for, is to unlock your car. That's the most frequent use, is if you lock your keys in the car. An organization like AAA will come and use that item to open up your car for you.
All right, let's keep going here. That thing. This is a double-sided fishing magnet that's used for finding metal objects. Or is it a small weight that's added to a fishing line to help control casting? All right. So, what type of fishing is it? Is it a magnet used for finding metal objects? Or is it actually attached to a fishing line to help control casting? I know my vote. I'm going with 2.
So, for Ryan Thomas's response to the last question, you're just mad because you were wrong. That was totally the option.
All right.
But
votes
the
are
answer,
coming in. Votes are coming in.
Yes, Jacob Poole, you're correct. That is a thermonuclear fish.
Oh, it is a fishing magnet that's used for finding metal objects.
So it's the description is somewhat deceptive because it calls it a fishing magnet. It's not really used for fishing for fish. It's more of if you're working on something and you drop it down into a container, like you're working on an engine and you drop a screw, you send that thing down in there, helps you bring the screw back out. Next one. Okay, this one's good.
That just looks like an axe that's put on sideways.
Yep, it looks like a massive hatchet.
So what is it? Is it an adze, A-D-Z-E? And what's that? It's a carving tool that's used to smooth wood for woodworking. Or is it a zade? I like how they just took 4 letters and mixed them around. Is it a zade, which is a demolition aid that's used to shave paint and residue off drywall?
It could also be daze because that's an additional option for the letters that we have.
But what's a daze?
A daze is what happens when you're not paying attention. You don't know what's going on.
So is it used in carving wood and it smooths the wood for woodworking? Or does it help shave paint and residue off of drywall? Well,
I like Cole's answer. It's a corn dog. No, that is not a corn dog, but I wouldn't mind getting a corn dog.
I'm going to say 2. It looks really big.
We got Cole going with 2. We got Jacob going with 1.
By the way, as always, as predicted, I have not gotten one right yet. This is usually how it goes.
Josie thinks her tactic is correct, but she currently hasn't answered anything. Okay, there we go. 2. Josie's going with 2.
I think Josie's tactic is to pick whatever answer.
Josie,
Josie,
what is your tactic? Going against whatever Brent says?
Because I'm always wrong. Until, what was that one Irish room where I got the tiebreaker exactly right?
Hot wing, dip it in ranch. Yeah,
Cole's answer is always dip it in ranch.
Dip it in ranch is always a valid option.
I hate ranch.
Okay, I had pizza for dinner last night.
Oh, don't go there.
Who in the last week has had pizza? And 2, did you dip it in ranch?
I can answer both of those with no. No, wait, I did have pizza yesterday.
Yeah, your life is full of sadness. You can't even remember if you had pizza yesterday.
I did have pizza yesterday.
The answer is 1.
Oh.
Josie, your tactic is wrong.
No, she's not saying what her tactic is. She would have been right if she'd gone with the opposite of what I say. Okay, this is called a Garby. It's a simple tool used to space out objects during woodworking and crafting to go along with the previous object. Or this is called a Darby. Is it a Garby or a Darby? It's a simple tool used to flatten concrete.
I just know that I know what that is used for, but I don't use either of those names to call it that.
Do you use it for one of those functions?
I do.
Oh.
I do.
Well, I know what I'm going to go
Okay,
with.
so we got Ryan Thomas going with a 2. Cole's going with a 2.
I am going to go with 2 as well.
Aiden is going with the Gaelic alphabet. Always a valid. Okay, Cole is going with dip it in ranch. You know what? If you dip that in ranch,
It's not going to taste good.
I'd still lick it.
All right, I'm going with 2.
The answer is...
Yeah, I'm on the board.
This is called a Darby. It's a simple tool used to flatten concrete. My entire experience, we've called that thing a float, but we use it for the same purpose, to get a nice smooth surface on concrete when you're laying the foundation for a building or a house. So, yeah, we've got some people that are questioning Cole's just dip it in ranch. Most things are good if you dip them in ranch, but yeah, pieces of wood, that might be the extent of how good they can be.
I wouldn't advise eating that. All right, this thing. This is a talking toilet paper spindle.
I hope so.
This is a portable carbon monoxide detector. Everybody wants it to be one thing, and it's going to be totally bored if it's the other thing. Why would you want a talking toilet paper spindle? With toilet paper being such the thing in conversation right now, the last thing we need is your parting words of your last roll of toilet paper to be, "You're out, what are you going to do?" If that's what it does. Or is it simply a portable carbon monoxide detector? Boring, but I can see why it would be needed in our society. A portable carbon monoxide detector. Wow, most people are choosing 2. Kind of, yeah, you want it to be. Why would we need a talking toilet paper spindle? Why? Only Russell wants to have a world where your toilet paper spindle will talk to you. Everybody else recognizes that it's probably a boring old carbon monoxide detector. But if you've ever been to Bed Bath & Beyond, you have seen completely stupid gadgets. I'm thinking that number 1 exists, and that's it. No!
Brent is correct. It is a talking toilet paper spindle. So, Cole...
Russell's the only one who got it right.
Ryan, you guys desire, just dip it in ranch. There we go.
Oh, this is disgusting.
So to be fair, these carrots were in the freezer last night, and I put them in the refrigerator today because, you know, we're in quarantine, so we can't go grocery shopping whenever we want to. So these are mildly frozen. I didn't have any pizza to dip it Carolyn ate the last of our pizza for lunch, but
Russell is taking a victory lap for the only one to get it right.
we do
Well,
have
Russell, you and I got it
dipping
right.
in ranch. If that's your answer for everything, we have your answer here.
All right.
To be fair, it's cucumber ranch.
How are you doing here? This thing. You wear this small device on the sides of your head, and
Thanks,
it
Russell.
uses electrical impulses to help you feel relaxed and calm. Or, this is a special hearing aid that can interact wirelessly with any smartphone, even when there's no data or Wi-Fi available. So, does it make you feel relaxed and calm by sending warm pulses through your forehead? Or is it simply a hearing aid that doesn't need data or Wi-Fi?
What do you guys think? Do you think that is a relaxer designed to relax? Or do you think those are hearing aids
That can interact with your phone.
that sync your phone via Bluetooth and tell you what you need to feel?
Now, I don't know about you, but aren't those AirPods? Doesn't an AirPod basically enhance sound from a smartphone without using, I don't know, Wi-Fi or data?
Yeah, I really think something you stick in your ear and then put on your face would make you relaxed. Seems to me like that would make me more tense. Cole, I don't have any breadsticks, so I'm out of luck there.
I just explained why it should not exist, so that's why I'm going to guess number 2, because I just came up with it in another way. So I think it is that.
So the answer is,
Nope, I was right. I talked myself out of my own answer.
okay, small device you wear on the sides of your head and you use electrical inputs to help you feel relaxed and calm. Okay, we got 2 more.
Well, luckily everybody guessed 1.
You guys are in luck. Can I just point out, partially frozen carrots are not very good. Like, I like carrots. I like to cook carrots. Like, there's very few
Oh,
circumstances.
you like it when they're really soggy?
Well, not necessarily, but I like raw carrots too.
Oh, all right.
For me, but it's like the partially frozen carrot is not. It's by far my least favorite.
This handheld tool can be filled with oil and is used to cut glass with perfect precision. The point of this fine pressure razor can be applied to wood or metal to mark where a nail or screw should be inserted. So does it cut glass or does it help you figure out where a nail should go?
Cole's going with 1. Russell's going with W. So do you guys think that is a glass cutter?
That you use oil with to, or is it
a screw preparation device for woodworking? Ryan Thomas is going with a 1. Russell's going with 1. Aiden's going with a 1.
Survey says 1. What a useless thing. So you fill that with oil and it cuts glass with perfect precision. Goodness.
So, I'm going to let Brent stall for a minute because we've got one person that's sending me text still trying to get into the conversation, so I'm going to respond to them really quick.
Well, let's go
We're
to
going
our
to let
last
Brent do
item.
the last one.
All right, this thing. Oh boy. This is called a freight point. It's filled with sand or other granular material to create sharp impressions on a surface. Or is it called a plumb bob? Since ancient Egypt, it has been used as a leveler to indicate whether a surface is horizontal. Well, now one is invoking the history of the ancient Egyptians, and the other allows you to fill it with sand or sand-like substances.
And I can honestly tell you, I have used one of these within the last 2 years.
So, votes coming in. Is it a freight point, which is you fill it with sand and it creates sharp impressions on the surface? Or is it a plumb bob? And apparently the Egyptians used this thing. And it's been used as a leveler to indicate whether a surface is horizontal. Votes coming in. So far, it looks like a lot of one. No one's buying the ancient Egyptian thing.
Wow, I think we got quite a few people stumped on this one. I feel pretty good about this. The answer is
boom!
Hey,
always trust the Egyptians.
Always trust the Egyptians.
The ancient ones, at least.
That is a plumb bob. So one of the things that Brent and I find really important in this season, as we're not able to be together all the time, is just to sit and reflect on all of the good times that we've had. So I know you guys have had some various experiences, and I know some of you guys chimed in last week with some of your favorite times you've had at RB Community Church. But Brent and I, every week, the reality of it is, for every one memory you have, Brent and I have like 37.
It's just because we're old.
Brent and I combined have been at RB Community Church longer than any of you have been alive by at least 2 times, probably 3 times.
That's scary.
Brent, when did you start? When did your family start going to RB Community Church?
1987.
1987.
Does anybody remember 1987?
This is kind of a hint at our game for next week when you guys are trying to remember how long ago things were. When did you start working at RB Community Church? You were there before I was.
I started working 2002 or 3.
So 2002, I was there in 2005. So these are all well before you guys were alive. So actually, are there any students that were born before 2005? Everybody's upper high school, 15 plus.
Yeah.
2004, 2005. Ryan Thomas. I'm assuming you're Jim Thomas.
No, he's in on his own, I think.
There's no way Ryan Thomas remembers 1987.
Well, yeah.
Okay, Cole, fancy cars, people don't make, spend all my money on delicious cake, and don't forget to dip that in ranch dressing.
Oh,
so, we're going to share some of our favorite memories. Every week we want to share a memory we've had with students, with past students, present students. We can't share with future students, but we look forward to sharing those with you guys. So this week every week we want to spend some time sharing some great stories with you guys. So Brent, do you have one in mind?
So the one I was thinking of, you're talking about, recently we did a Mexico house building trip, and some of you got to go on that. And there are great opportunities to go down. And basically, we told a story last time, I think, about the bus. But here's another story about Mexico, the house building trip. We always tell you the packing list because we want you to be prepared for all trips.
Are you telling me, Wham?
No.
Oh.
I'm going to tell another story. Basically, we had a student come on a house building trip with absolutely nothing. Brought no clothes, no tools, nothing. And this was one of the coldest trips we ever did.
This is also a 3-day trip. So actually it's a 4-day, 3-work day.
4 nights.
So 4 nights, 3 work days.
And basically, Richard, he had to borrow clothes from to keep warm at night.
So this guy brought nothing with him for a 4-day trip. We're building houses.
Yeah. Your clothes are going to be covered in concrete.
He wore sandals.
Yeah.
So he was wearing my tennis shoes, and he just brought nothing. He was totally
the most unprepared student we've ever had on anything ever.
Totally oblivious to what we were going to be doing.
Yeah.
So this is a thing where you bring a tent, you hang out in your tent. So he didn't bring a tent. We hang out. We're building. So you're supposed to bring tools like your own hammer, your own gloves. He didn't he wore sandals to come build a house.
You're supposed to bring a sleeping bag to sleep in and a pillow for your own comfort. He brought nothing.
Yeah. So this. The best word I can come up with to describe it is buffoon. This buffoon was sleeping in all of my extra clothes to stay warm at night because he didn't have anything to sleep in. And it was just one of those, like,
You never forget it.
where is your mom in this? Like, you're sending your kid with us for 4 days, and you don't even like pack a bag for him.
He made it through the trip somehow.
He did.
He did.
Okay, and on those lines, I'll tell a similar story of a Mexico trip where we had a kid, and on our way home from Mexico, for whatever reason, he decided to have like it wasn't a panic attack, but just like a total like unawareness of what was going on. So we're coming back through the border. We're driving through the lane, and we get to the border, and the border security guard collects all of our passports and our IDs. This was a time where everybody needed a passport. He collects everybody's IDs, and he's looking at them, and he kind of looks at everybody's ID. He looks at everybody in the car, and then he signals out like one of the students, and he goes, "What's your name?" And this kid, like, for whatever reason, just froze. Like, he was just in a panic. He goes, and I'm like, this kid doesn't even know his name right now. This is not a good start. So I basically, the security guard, I just told him, like, his name is blah. And I don't want to call him out on this because, you know, he might be watching. This was 12 years ago, but who knows? He might be watching. And I didn't want to, like, and they go, "What year were you born?" He's like, like full on panic. Like, this guy was asking you very fundamental, like, everybody knows the answers to these questions. Like, they were so basic that even I, the driver, the answer to these questions, like, he was born in blah, blah, blah. Like, I told him the year. Like, the kid could, at the moment, he couldn't even, like, school he went to. He was just like, "What school do you go to?" He's like, and like, he goes to Westview, and it's like basically like one of those just like, this guy to calm down, like, and it's one of those, like, you know, when you get flustered, it's really easy to go over that ledge of like no longer thinking clearly. And I know we've all been there before.
I thought Josie thought it was Tim, but Tim chimed in. They're all saying Tim.
No, it was not Tim. But
we could tell Tim stories one time.
Tim did Westview. Tim does know who this is. Tim, I'll give you a hint as to who it is with one word without giving away who it is. Tim, ferret. If you remember ferret,
oh man,
you know who this student was.
Oh, yeah.
Josie, are you the one who actually wants a pet ferret? Is that right? Josie wants a pet ferret.
Did that come out of a web chat the other day?
Yeah, that came out of web chat, but that has nothing to do with Josie. This was long before you were in high school, so you wouldn't know who this person is.
All right.
Person now lives in Idaho. Well, we're going to transition into our next section. So if you guys want to relax, we're glad you're here. Travis, if you're out there, I've been working on Reckless Love. I will definitely have it by next week's session. But there's one chord in it that I had to learn that's new, and I haven't quite mastered the art of going back and forth between it and the other chords, so I haven't quite gotten it yet. But Josie, I hope you get your ferret. And this is an opportunity for us to sing together. So I'm going to go ahead and pray, and then we're going to sing "This Is Amazing Grace." So if you guys want to bow your heads with me. God, I thank you for this opportunity. I thank you for us being together, and you know, it's a stressful, it's an anxious, it's a chaotic time, but we know that you're good, you're faithful, and you're with us. And I just ask that as we continue to spend time in your presence, Lord, that you would draw us to you, that you would draw us together, and that most importantly, Lord, that you would continue to be at work in our hearts. Lord, we know that you love us and you see us in this, and we are not alone. In your holy name I pray. Amen. So this song is "This Is Amazing Grace." Who makes the power of sin and darkness? Whose love is mighty and so much stronger? The King of glory, the King above all kings. Who shakes the whole earth with holy thunder? Who shakes the whole earth with holy thunder? And leaves us breathless in awe and wonder. The amazing grace. This is unfailing love. That you would take my place. That you would bear my cross. You would lay down your life. That I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I'm thankful all that you've done for me. Who brings up chaos back into order? Who makes the orphan a son and daughter? The King of glory, the King of all kings. Who rules the nations? Who rules the nations with truth and justice, just like the sun in all of its brilliance. The King of glory, the King of all kings. Here we go, this is amazing grace. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love. That you would take my place. That you would bear my cross. You would lay down your life. That I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. Here we go, worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy, worthy, this is amazing grace. This is unfailing love. That you would take my place. That you would bear my cross. You would lay down your life. That I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. God, I just ask that as we continue to this evening or this afternoon to be with you, Lord, that you would use this time for us to connect together, that your Spirit would be with all of us in each of our own spaces. And as we take a look at your word, Lord, that we would know that you are good and you are faithful and you are with us. God, it's so easy for us to feel alone and isolated and like we're the only person who's experiencing what we are experiencing, but we know that you are with us in this moment, God, and that you are here in this place and you're with each one of us in our homes, God, and you love us and you see us amidst this. So as we take a look at your word for today, that you would just be at work, just softening our hearts and comforting us. In your holy name I pray, amen. So we're in this series. We're in this series, Restless, and the reality of it is, if you guys are like me, you probably are starting to feel a little restless, right? Brent, when he came today, Brent has a little more liberty than I do at the moment, but still very minimal.
Yeah.
Still very minimal. Like, so as a type 1 diabetic, I am considered a high-risk individual, meaning I'm pretty much not allowed to do anything outside of my house. So the last time I left my house was last Tuesday. I think it was the 15th. So today is the 27th. Today is the 27th, so I haven't left my house since the 15th, I think it was, whatever last Tuesday was. So I've been here. I'm not completely secluded. I was able to spend time on Zoom with my family yesterday. I've talked to people, but the reality of it is, I don't want to say I'm under house arrest, but I'm literally, like, I've been here for the last 10 plus days without any real movement. And it's really easy for us to feel a sense of restlessness, a sense of seclusion, a sense of loneliness, a sense of seclusion, right? But in God's word, we are called. And I don't think God's word calls us to do things that we're incapable of doing. So I don't think God is going to tell me to do something that I do not have the capacity to do, right? And one of the things that we know throughout Scripture and is constantly etched throughout Scripture is that I am created by God. You are created by God. Brent is created by God to do good works, right? So we are created by God to do good works. And it's really easy for me to be, okay, in this season, I am called to quarantine. The government has told me to quarantine myself, right? The government has called me to, hey, don't go out, don't do anything. But I still know that my calling, I'm not allowed to go out, I'm not allowed to go in public. And my typical form of good works, my typical form of blessing my community has been taken out from underneath me, but that doesn't mean that I just sit here. And as I learned as a third grader, this is what I learned. This is twiddling your thumbs. I actually learned what twiddling your thumbs meant in a Ninja Turtle comic. So we are not called to sit here and twiddle our thumbs. We are called to continue to show God to the people around us. And I know for some of you that means showing God in your home. I know we do have viewers out there. I know this for sure. We do have viewers out there who are the only believers in their house. So the members that are also in quarantine with you do not know Jesus, right? We have people out there that, amidst this, you might be struggling with school and with friends and with family, but you are trying to figure out, okay, what does showing God amidst this season look like, right? So the Bible tells us in Galatians says, you have been created by God to do good works, which he has prepared in advance for you to do. So for me, that's one of those things, like, I look at, like, okay, I don't feel like I knew this was coming, right? For those of you that are looking out, like, if I asked anybody in January, what do you think life might look like in March? I don't think any of us would have said, I don't think I'm going to be allowed to go outside of the house, right? We don't know those things, but the reality of it is God has still created good works for us to do, even amidst this season, right? And last week I tasked you guys with something so simple as, hey, call your grandma, right? And we're just like, okay, that's like a mundane, something we don't want to do, but, like, it's something that's so simple, because we have the opportunity to show love and show care through something as simple as a phone call. Okay, so Cole, I'm going to ask you to stop commenting in the feed, because I find it distracting and I'm trying to talk right now. So as it continues to go through, I'm getting lost. So you can hit the pause button on that. You can come back into the Dipping It in Ranch. But the reality of it is, it's really easy for us to seclude ourselves for the next however long. Oh, no worries, you're good. I just get distracted easily. I'm very, very, Brent knows I get distracted very easily.
He does.
So the reality of it is, it's really easy for us to say, okay, I'm gonna sit tight. I'm gonna do nothing, not do stuff. I'm gonna sit on my unit, play. I do this a lot. I play app games on my phone, right? When I'm anxious or when I don't have anything that I think is a good use of my time, I'll just sit there and I'll thumb away and not make progress. The reality of it is there's lots of opportunities out there for us to bless other people for God, to draw other people towards God. And one of our slogans in youth ministry that we use at RB Community Church is that every student is loved and Jesus is made known. Right, and it's really easy for us to fall into the fall into the reality of we don't know what's going on and we're just gonna sit tight. But the reality of it is, like, we are equipped to love others amidst this chaos, and I think students are more equipped than anybody to do this. Right, we've had a lot of engagement in my staff leadership meetings of like, we have people at our church that don't know how to use the internet, right? And we're talking like, okay, we want them to be able to hear the sermon, right? Every single person that's in this chat, I know you guys are able to go onto the internet and watch the sermon if you want to on Sunday morning. Like, I'm not saying you want to, but you're capable of it. And we're talking about, okay, we need to find people that are willing to actually just verbally read the sermon over the phone so that people can hear it, right? And for you guys, it's like, duh, just look it up on the internet. That's easy. But there's a lot of people that are not, like, that's not as simple as it is for you guys. So it's an opportunity for us as youth. I'm not saying you guys need to be like, oh, I'll read. But if you're willing to read, we'd love to have you do it. But the reality of it is we are uniquely gifted in this season to stay connected. We are uniquely equipped in this season to share love and to make people know that they're loved. And one of the lines I use with you guys a lot, not necessarily with you guys a lot, but one of my major prayers when we pray together is that my prayer is that the students would know that they are loved by me, and through my love for them, that they would know that they're loved by God, right? And that is my desire in this season, is that I'm doing what I can, and Brent is doing what he can in this season to stay connected with you guys so that you know that we have a desire to know that you guys are cared for and loved, right? It's the reality of it. It'd be really easy for our church to not focus on students right now. It'd be really easy for our church to be like, okay, we want our Sunday morning service to be the main priority. But we have a desire that you guys would know that you're important to us and we care about you. We want you guys to know that you're loved by us, and that through us, you might know that you're loved by God.
Yeah, so I'd say while you're at home and you feel like, well, how can I serve God when I'm stuck in my home? You know, Richard gave this suggestion of, like last week, call on family members, but there are other ways. I mean, you're stuck with people. How can you serve them? You know, how can you still be a Christian when all of a sudden you're cut off? And yeah, you have less options. But like we're going to tell our preschoolers in their chapel video, you know, we're going to give them an idea of like, hey, draw a picture and mail it to your grandma or something. How are ways that you can still communicate to people? How can you still bring the love of Jesus to other people without being face to face? And it's a challenge, but sometimes we can rise up to challenge and do amazing things. And you guys are well equipped, like Richard's saying, you're a little more tech savvy than a lot of other people. This is not foreign to you, what we're doing. How can you use that to your advantage with technology? How can you be a witness when you're not physically present with other people? You know, having positive conversations over the internet or on the phone, just being extra kind around the house, being helpful around the house. A lot's trying to get done in the home. You know, when you live and you don't leave the house, it gets a little harder. So how can we just go that extra mile being a Christian around the household? How can we do that?
Yeah, so it's one of those issues that's very simple but very complex. It's one of those, like, we all know what to do, but it's also difficult to actually do it. So our desire for you guys is that, one, you would stay connected, because we are a community, right? We're not a bunch of random people in houses that don't care about each other. This isn't a digital feed that's like, hey, anybody out there in internet land that wants to join us. This is for us as a community. We care about you guys. So continue to be in communication with us. If you guys have ideas for things that we can do to make it better, we'd love to have your encouragement. But like we shared at the beginning of the feed, we have our desire is that every single day we would have some interaction. So on the YouTube page, we have on Mondays, or I guess not on YouTube, but on Mondays and Wednesdays, we're going to do YouTube Zoom sessions. So join us in a chat and just hang out and talk about what's going on in life, what it's like being quarantined at home. On Tuesdays and Wednesdays, Tuesdays and Thursdays, watch our devotional video and get plugged in with what we're teaching in those sessions. And Brent's done an awesome job. So if you haven't seen them, go back. Also, send Brent some encouragement, like the videos, so that he can feel good about himself.
Oh, I already feel good about it.
Well, Brent already feels good about himself, but make him feel better. So those are on. So if you guys just on YouTube, if you just search RB Community Church, so RB Community Church, just search it, and then it shows a bunch of videos. There's stuff that Brent's been doing a ton. So he's been doing stuff for us, for students. He's been doing stuff for the children's program. He's been doing stuff for the preschool chapel. So give him some encouragement there. Leave comments. And every Friday we will be here just playing games and having a good time. Next week, I'm really excited. I've got a great idea for our game. It's going to involve your parents sending me pictures. So I'm going to be getting in touch with them throughout the course of the week. So if you guys want, you can send me via direct message or email their contact information if you want them to be involved. If I don't have their contact information,
I think we should mention if you're for some reason you're like, well, I can't make it at 2:00 on Friday. These are going up after it's recorded. It goes up as a recording, so you can go back and watch these, or if people missed it, they can still watch it.
Yeah. So guys, go ahead and feel free to share with us your ideas. And we are at the 3-hour mark. So if you guys
3-hour mark,
3 hour, it's 3:00. So we're at the 1 hour mark. So Brent, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to talk, and I'm going to see if I can't get this next activity.
All right. So I've got 30 seconds to close it out.
Yeah.
So if you're going to peace out, because it's been about an hour, thanks for spending an hour out of your, well, I'd say busy schedule, but the amazing part is you can fill your day. Thanks for taking a break from playing video games or Snapchatting or whatever you're spending your time doing. Thanks for spending time with us. We're here for you. You know how to get a hold of us. And enjoy your weekend. Worship service will be on Sunday, and then we'll be back with you for a chat on Monday at 2:00. Richard can send you the details about how to find that Zoom chat. And Matt, stick around. We've got another game if you'd like to stick around with us.
Yeah, so we're over time. So if you guys need to leave, you're good to go. But we are going to play.
They're asking if we have Nerf guns.
We do have Nerf guns. I forgot to load them with the suction cup darts. But how about we'll let Brent start leading you guys in this game. This is a useless facts game.
All
so
right.
Everybody has that friend. For me, her name is Sarah, and she's the one that just knows stuff that nobody cares about. And I feel like Brent, this is most of his friends.
I thought I was going to be that guy.
Oh, for Brent, this is
I might be that guy, but I do have a lot of friends who know random things. And so everyone knows that person who is always ready to jump in and tell you some random out of left field, unimportant fact. If that's you, be prepared. If you know someone, be prepared to make fun of that person. Here we go. In 1960, an estimated 4,000 people were over 100 years old in the United States. By 1995, that number had jumped to 15,000, 20,000, 30,000, or 55,000 people. Anybody want to take a guess of trivia? We'll find out if people are still sticking around by their answers. Tim thinks that 30,000 people in 1995 were over the age of 100. Let's find out. What do you think, Richard?
I'm going to go with 15,000.
I'm going to go with 20.
Not even close.
55,000 people in 1995 were over 100 years old. I can't even fathom that. All right. Rockets were first made by whom more than 750 years ago? Someone rockets have been around for 750 years. Was it A, the Germans, B, the Americans, C, the Chinese, or D, the Russians?
I'm going to go with Chinese.
Now, number one, have the Americans been around for 750 years? No.
And
You said
the answer is
not the Americans. The Chinese.
So, hey, Carolyn, come on. So, for those of you guys that don't care about me, don't care about Brent, you just want to see Jazz and Carolyn.
Yeah.
Carolyn was on a conference call upstairs, so she's going to come say hi.
Just want to say hi. Jazz says hi too. Thinking about you guys. I hope you're well during this time. All right. Bye.
All right. How do we follow up with this? More trivia. In 1921, the heaviest snowfall ever recorded fell over Silver Lake, Colorado. How much snow fell, Mr. Klusmeyer? Was it 76 inches, 126 inches, 56 inches, or 96 inches?
I'm going to go with 96 inches.
I'm going to go with 76. And the answer is 76. Not bad. More trivia. Ancient Egyptian, once again, those ancient Egyptians.
Always trust the Egyptians.
Always trust them. They slept on pillows made of down, lamb's wool, stone, or pig lard.
I want to go with D. I hope it's D.
I'm going to give them more
lard.
credit. I'm going to go with, well, I'm going to go down.
Pig lard. Pig lard.
I'm going to go
pig
down.
Lard,
I'm
pig
saying
lard,
down.
Pig lard. Sleeping on
Stone.
bacon. Oh.
We should have known. They worked with stone.
I really
And
wanted
only
to,
the ancient Egyptians would make a stone pillow something worth sleeping on.
I was really hoping they were going to sleep on bacon. A piggy pillow.
I know.
I can market that.
In 1938, the first minimum wage was established in America for how much an hour? Was it A, 79 cents, B, a quarter, C, a whole dollar, or D, oh my goodness, $2? I know my answer.
I'm going to go with B, 25 cents.
I'm going to go with a quarter. And the answer is a quarter.
Wilford Brimley. I'd buy that for $1.
Now, in 1938, what could a quarter get you? A quarter could get you quite a lot. I bet you and I could eat for a quarter.
Yeah, that's like a full-on Big Mac.
I'm
meal.
pretty sure when In-N-Out opened, you could buy a hamburger for like a
it's
quarter.
25-cent
Yeah.
hamburger.
So that's a hamburger an
And
hour.
that was in the 50s.
That's a hamburger an hour. I'll take that.
I'm game. Challenge accepted. Next week.
Let's not tell our bosses we work for a hamburger an hour.
Why not?
Strangers shook hands in ancient times to show that.
None of that. None of that. No shaking hands.
They weren't afraid of diseases because right now we don't shake hands. We fist bump because we are afraid of diseases.
I don't even fist bump because I have diabetes.
We don't even do that. Strangers shook hands in ancient times to show that they were human. C, they were friendly. D, they were unarmed. I think I know this answer,
I'm
actually.
going with D.
I believe it's D. I believe it's D. And it is.
That is why there's a story about Ehud,
The left-handed.
the left-handed man, where there's a significant because the person checked his right hand, but he was left-handed.
Whoop-ah! He comes in with the left hand.
Yeah, notice how that comes.
No. In 1877, the first sound recording ever made was Mary Had a Little Lamb, The Star Spangled Banner, God Bless America, or Beyonce's Single Ladies.
Worst dance move ever.
I don't think she was alive in 1877. Was it God Bless America, Star Spangled Banner, or Mary Had a Little? I think I know this one too.
I'm going to go with Mary Had a Little Lamb.
I believe that is correct. And it is correct.
Hey, I'm 2 for 2.
There you go. 3,000 years ago, most Egyptians died by the time they were 50, 45, 30, or 35. So 3,000 years ago, I would be Dead, almost dead. Got a little while left to go. I
Yeah.
am saying C. I think it's 30.
I'm going to go with D, 35. I want to give my...
Answer is
I
dead
was
by
hoping-
30.
I was hoping I was going to go out in an Egyptian flame of glory this year. I'm 35.
In 1980, a Las Vegas hospital suspended workers for betting on A, how many hot girls would visit the ER, B, when patients would die, C, how many patients would be intoxicated, D, when doctors would misdiagnose a patient. These are all terrible. Shame on you.
I'm going to go with B.
I'm going to go with C. The answer, of course, being B.
Hey!
Well, B.
That's a terrible thing. People were
That
basically
is
gambling
terrible.
on how many people they thought were going to die.
All right. Who could not view the Olympic Games in ancient Greece under penalty of death? Was it A, slaves, B, the Romans, C, children, D, married women?
I'm going to go with married women. I really don't know, but I'm going to go with D.
Why would it be children?
I don't know. I'm going to go with A or D.
I'm going to go with B. Why not?
I feel like children probably would not be under the penalty of death.
Death for going. I'm going to go with the Romans. It's married women.
Hey!
Weird. All right. Was that it? That was it. What a weird way to end.
Okay, guys, we will see you next Friday.
Get your 3D glasses.
Get your security glasses. We'll see you guys Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, digitally, Friday live. Here we go. Oh, miss. Oh, that hit, but it didn't stick.
Yeah! Oh. All right.
Oh. Last one.
3D glasses. Oh! And with that, we'll see you later.
Peace out, guys.
Bye.
We're not any good at this.